Get ready to dive in the deep end in this spooky pool of H2. Oh no! A family of 4 have brought a house with a haunted pool, and it's going to take all of their strength and our interest to stay invested. Get your Blumhouse bingo card ready to play a game of Spot the Cliche in Night Swim. Hello there, you loose units, and welcome back to another episode of Spicy Boy Reviews. I'm, of course, your host, Andrew Iles. That's right, Night Swim, directed by Bryce Maguire, known for directing a lot of shorts, and this being his feature film debut. Classic Blumhouse. We meet our happy nuclear family of 4 who are on the hunt for somewhere to hang their swimming cap. We have stroppy, generic teenage daughter, young son who doesn't fit in, Mummy Poos, who's pretty much our protagonist, and Daddy, who's a famous baseball player, played by Kurt Russell Jr., who is suffering from early onset MS. They decide to purchase a normal house for a normal life on the most normal street possible with a creepy as fuck pool. Then in true Blumhouse fashion, we get padding and padding, build and build and build. More like paddling and paddling and paddling. The family of 4 decide to then work together for a working bee to get the pool ready to make way for some creepy shit. Daddy's illness starts to diminish and starts going away with a few dips in the pool, and becoming stronger than ever. No super serum fuckery here, just good old-fashioned water therapy. Then mysterious injuries start to occur. Whispers in the water vents start antagonizing the sun. The entity has clearly been getting pointers from Pennywise. And creepy creatures start popping up for a hop, skip and jump scaring their family members when they're in the pool. We get glimpses of creepy over-bloated creatures here who kind of look like a slightly decaying old Greg. But to fix the creepiness of the house and the unsettling atmosphere, the family of 4 decide to invite the whole neighbourhood over for a pool party which can only go well. But it doesn't go well, and some evil black urine in the pool decides to possess Daddy. He starts to go a little bit cray-cray, and Mummy Poos feels a disturbance in her waters. And we've got about, 30 minutes of runtime left, so we've got to tack on a little investigation side plot for Mummy Poos, which helps a little creature feature cliche bingo. Turns out that the pool is haunted, and craves a sacrifice from someone when it gives a gift back of healing. Then the climax happens because we've got to wrap this shit up for the next session in the cinema. The end! The movie is pretty much the same, albeit a much cheaper and rushed version of the Amityville Horror, but instead of a haunted house, it's a pool. Genius! There's one or two nice little creepy setups of shots here and there that the filmmakers obviously wrote first and then try to develop a plot around it. It's an incredibly cheesy script and not in a good way. It's fair to say that this film is quite boring, just trying to keep its head above water to pad out that runtime. And upon research after watching the film, it makes sense because it's based on a short film. It suffers the same fate as Lights Out, which had an incredibly effective and really well-made short film that kind of went viral, and I highly recommend it if you haven't seen it yet. But of course, it won some accolades and went a little bit viral online. Of course, they were going to make a feature film of it, which became an overbloated padding session. This film, of course, has that Blumhouse filter over it. You know the one I'm talking about. Adding to the theory that either all the Blumhouse movies are set in the same universe, or they can only afford one lens. Blumhouse keeps churning out these cheap horror films after cheap horror films, and yes, I'm going to continue to see them. Blumhouse is kind of like the modern day canon films, but instead of 80s action, they're doing horror. All the early days of New Line Cinema. Yeah, this film is very forgettable, run-of-the-mill, and very cheap horror. Next! Anyway guys, that's my cheeky little review of Night Swim. Write down below if you've seen it, what are your thoughts on it, but more importantly, what is your favourite creature feature? And of course, if you've made it this far into the episode, please give me a thumbs up, because your love and support keeps me going, because I just love movies, and I assume you do as well. And of course, don't forget to hit that subscribe icon, because I give it an episode weekly, and I'll see you back here next week for the next review, and until then, stay spooky, kids.